Hey everyone, hello to everyone who's watching the replay. I'm gonna get set up just a little bit, get a little bit more light since the sun's going down as we wait for people to trickle in. Let's see. Okay, I think that's as good as it's gonna get for now. Who do we have in the chat right now? I see 4 people, so you guys cannot hide from me. But I mean, regardless, it's cool to see you guys on here. I honestly don't have anything written out or to prepare. I just wanted to answer any questions y'all may have about job hunting, whether that's interviews, portfolios, how to find jobs right now with the current climate that we are experiencing all around the world. Any tips? Like, happy to share those with you. From what I know, many of you are considering UX or exploring it or just getting out of a boot camp. So in my experience, an internship has been like the best way to break into it, or doing some type of freelance work to get experience, because the best way to be a UX professional is to actually get that experience. It's completely different than just studying, taking these courses, getting certs. Like, you actually have to do it and be in the industry to really get that experience, which I hate to say, it's probably like a cliche. But also, when you're thinking about your portfolio as well, you can use those things for it, because everyone needs a portfolio. I actually spoke to someone, a former coworker, who was thinking about switching into UX, and he had some experience but didn't realize he needed a portfolio. And so when he was asked to provide one, he sent like a zip file, and he said he doesn't think that they even looked at it. So I'm honestly not surprised. Most portfolios are websites. It's just easier that way. I have seen some people provide a link to like a Google Doc, and they put all their designs in that. So that's another option as well. But highly recommend websites. That's just the way to go right now. Please do not send a zip file. But if you are working on your portfolio, on any ideas, please say so in the chat, which I'll go back to. Also, resumes are important, obviously, but I feel like a lot of people overthink the resumes. As long as it's clean, easy to read. Yeah, like, if you don't need to you don't have to recreate the wheel and make it some incredible redesigned resume that's like super modern just because you are an aspiring designer or are a designer. Like, it's not necessary. I haven't needed to do that. I will say that I am a UX researcher, so I am not a designer. I do have experience doing designs. I help out the design team with wireframes, with prototypes. So I have gotten my hands dirty with some designing, using mostly Sketch and sometimes Illustrator. Yeah, Sketch and Illustrator. I have started to hear good things about Adobe XD. Does anyone use that? I actually heard some hiring managers talking about that, and especially because they've made those recent updates, it's more collaborative. Like, unlike Sketch, where it's like one user can use the application at a time, and you have to use third-party tools. I think we used Craft. so you can like sync up with other people's. But actually, no, I think that's just for the symbols. Yeah, so you can sync your symbols, but it's really challenging in Sketch to collaborate on the same files. So I heard from hiring managers saying that they're either just started using XD. So that's pretty cool if you are new in the field and are trying to decide what tool you want to use. Yeah, that XD is making a comeback like crazy. So that's something to think about. Is anyone in the chat currently job hunting, or are you preparing your portfolio right now, or are you just seeing what's out there, just interested in UX, or is it none? Are you just here to hang out, which is totally cool? I am always down to hang out, especially since we are doing the shelter in place thing. So Intune says, I have a background in psych and code, full stack, and JS. Are there any good online resources for UX? Oh my gosh, yeah. You can simply just Google UX resources. You'll see a lot of stuff. There's a lot of online courses too. I think, is it Udemy? Maybe Udemy has it. There's a lot. I know, gosh, I'm not even like in the know anymore about like boot camps. I think it's called, is it General Academy? General Assembly, whoops. Okay, General Assembly has some UX courses and they're online, especially with the times. But if you want something free, Medium has a ton of really fantastic articles. Let me go through my bookmarks. Oh, they're not really, I feel like most of my bookmarks are on my work laptop, which I am not on. But let me see what I do have. I have some UX portfolio examples that I like. Here we go, design. Woo, I have a bunch. Okay, so I can't believe I did not even think about this. NNG, Nielsen Norman Group, they're like creme la creme. Like they have like the most up-to-date resources that you could ever need for designing and also for like research and testing. They really are in the know about like the latest things and of all things too. Not just websites and apps, but also AI, voice technology. Like definitely check out NNG. Very well reputable source. Let's see, I have Coursera, interaction design, stuff bookmarked. I'm seeing some visual design stuff in here. UXPin has some fantastic articles. They actually provide, I think, a software, but they have good articles as well. UX Planet, which I think is through Medium, but uxplanet.org is fantastic. There's another YouTuber on here named Mike Locke. He's fantastic. He is extremely experienced, and I just love the way he shares his yeah, I just love the way he shares his knowledge. He's pretty straight to the point. Mostly just talking head videos like this. He doesn't get all fancy with the B-roll. He's pretty good. He has some great interview videos as well. They may be slightly dated like 2 or 3 years ago, but it's still on point. Let's see. I have some other Medium articles. Medium. I bookmarked Dribbble, but I just want to say, like, Dribbble has some really cool freaking stuff, and it's great to get ideas, get creative, but some of the things aren't UX friendly. So just be aware of that. I would say Behance is a bit more practical and more, what's the word? Just like more real life designs. I would say that's more true to a UX portfolio or like UX social media because Dribbble is a lot of like visual design, a lot of UI that's really cool, but the functionality is like, like there's a lot of accessibility issues on there. So ADA has been huge the past couple of years with companies getting sued. I'm sure you guys have heard about, well, I'm not going to assume, but it was really huge when Domino's got sued for ADA reasons. So it's really important. So I kind of stay away from Dribbble unless I just want to have fun and explore. Let's see, some more Medium articles I have bookmarked. I have CodePen. I can't remember what CodePen is. I think that is more obviously coding. And then, oh, A List Apart. A List Apart has a ton of different books. I have, I think, 2 of them. One is for research. One is for research. I think the other, oh shoot, no. I just have one. It's just a research one. But there's another book. Let me find it real quick. So Articulating Design Decisions is really good. I just skimmed through it just for preparation because I was on a client project and I just wanted to improve the way I was communicating, like why I designed wires a certain way, especially when I'm talking to developers and obviously the client, but just in general being more clear and just sharing the intention behind the designs with the team. So yeah, I really like this book. I recently got this one. This is really, really research heavy, so you may not want this, but I'm starting to develop a specialization in research within UX, so that's why I got this, and so pretty stoked. It's really well written. It's not super it's not super technical, even though it is like a higher level. Like it goes deeper into research. It goes beyond surface level, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But the writer does like write in layman's terms and makes it easy. He like tells a story. So that's why I enjoyed that. Yeah, you're welcome. No problem. Yeah, guys. So for those who just hopped on, I am answering questions about job hunting if you have any, or about interviews or portfolios. Happy to share. Grindhard says, hello, it's been a while. Hello, my friend. It has. It's been a while and I have so much time now, and so I figured why not hang out with you guys. Is the lighting okay? I added my my light, but I can't really tell much of a difference, but let me know. Let me know. So yeah, so those are some resources that I like. Also there are some fantastic UX Facebook groups. I know not many people go on Facebook like we used to years ago, but I mostly use Facebook for the Facebook groups and messaging. I think I use the Messenger app more than the actual application. But yeah, like there's a YouTuber named Sarah Duty. She has a great portfolio, great portfolio of videos, and she's like a coach who helps people build their portfolio. She's kind of pricey. Like if you're a newbie, it could be a bit much for starting out, but she has free content, free videos, free downloads. So I would definitely look into that, and also her Facebook group. There's also, I believe it's called the UX Collective, and it's really research-based, but it's been really great. There are some moments when research gets tricky, like if you don't have a certain amount of participants, or especially right now when you have to do everything remote, and so you're just researching different tools, different strategies. That's a great place to go and also talk to other people. Okay, cool. Thank you for the feedback, Reinhard. Let me know, guys, if you have any questions. I'm just like doing a brain dump until someone asks me questions. Let's see. So yeah, Facebook groups are helpful. As far as job hunting goes, in my experience, LinkedIn is really huge. Sometimes I feel like I shouldn't tell people this, but I think this is really helpful. So when I use LinkedIn and let's say I'm applying to a job that I have no connections to, because if you guys have been watching my videos, you know I often talk about the power of connecting with your UX community, because that's honestly how I've gotten every single job I've ever got in UX, which is 3. Like 3 jobs in my young career have been because I knew someone or I knew someone who knew someone. So it's really important if you can. It definitely makes it easier. It speeds up the interview process. So going back to what I said that I probably shouldn't tell people, but I will because I think everyone should know this and do it if they feel comfortable. But if you are applying to, let's say, Pinterest, which I actually did, so let's flashback. So a couple years ago, I applied to Pinterest on LinkedIn. And immediately after I applied, I got connected to, I found a way to message one of the people, the UX people at Pinterest. I think I actually signed up for like a free trial of LinkedIn so I could get those messages so I can message people outside of my connections, because you know it goes by third, second, and third connections. So yeah, I got one of those and I messaged her. I was like, hey, my name is Kristen. I just applied for your UX researcher role and I just want to give you a face with my name when you see my application come in. Have a great day. Like short and sweet, simple. Because it is nice to be able to look at someone's profile, see their face, see what they're all about, get the tone based off the profile. And I did that for a number of people. Obviously, I did not get that role. I was leaving my very first job in UX. So yeah, I had a little over 1 year of experience. So I'm not surprised they weren't interested. But she did message me back. I was like, hey, Kristen, we looked over your application. And we think that if you reapply in a few years, it would be a good fit. So thanks for reaching out to us. Hope to see your application in the future or something like that. So like not only did they look at my application immediately, but she was able to give me feedback. So I think that's my biggest thing with applying online to companies where you don't know anyone, you're just like applying on this website. I feel like my portfolio, resume, and everything just going into this black hole, and typically I never hear back, you know what I mean? So it's nice to like do it through LinkedIn, or even just like you don't even have to apply through LinkedIn to contact them. Just apply and then find someone on LinkedIn, send them a message, giving them a heads up, like to give them a face with the name, show your interest, and that you take the initiative because you got great advice. No, but seriously, like I highly recommend you doing that because it speeds up the process and it's a little less like feeling like you're in limbo floating in this black hole. So that's one thing if you want to apply to a company where you don't know anyone who works there or you don't have any connections at all. Does anyone have any dream companies that like they would love to work for? I have a friend who he actually works in DevOps. He's not in UX, but he works in DevOps and he landed a job at Nike in Portland. And so y'all know I'm in North Carolina. He lives in North Carolina too. We are friends. Still are friends. but he ended up moving across the country to work at Nike. Isn't that killer? So he also went to boot camp with me, Brian. I think he was in one of my podcasts. Yeah, it was one of my podcast episodes that may be on my channel still. But yeah, so Brian got a job at Nike. So it's just like incredible because I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, but like he has a high school diploma. Like he never went to college. He went to the boot camp with me and he does DevOps now. And yeah, now he's like at a baller company, Nike. That's pretty cool. So do you want to have any dream companies you want to work for? I know, right? It just goes to show that like you don't need a college diploma. You don't need to have a degree in computer science to be successful. So yeah, those who can't see the chat, Grindhard said, wow, and Intune says, I love stories like these. I love to work for Tidal. Okay, cool. Where is that located? I feel like all the, like, at least me personally, all the like really fun companies are either in California or New York City. And I used to live in California, but I'm not sure if I want to go back. Maybe it depends on the job, but it's just so expensive over there. New York City, gosh, oh my gosh, just thinking about them right now kind of makes me sad. But yeah, all the big cities. I heard Austin's like becoming a really decent sized tech hub, actually, especially for UX. I get alerts from Austin all the time, especially with them having Google over there. Grindhard says, that's awesome. Here I am thinking I need all these degrees and certs. Heck no, you don't. You really don't. You just need to like take action because the sooner you do, the faster it'll happen. Are you in boot camp right now? Or are you in like an online program, grind hard? Like what are you up to these days? And so for me it was like I did boot camp and I still was uncertain, you guys. I'm sure you guys knew that or remember me saying that. If I said that, I would think I would. But yeah, I had some uncertainties, which is why I freelanced. I just felt more comfortable doing that. And that was actually beneficial because I got more experience, which I could use for my portfolio when I was ready to work for an employer. And honestly, that in between, like from boot camp to my from boot camp to my first job, which was an internship, that was like the hardest. And I did leave that job prematurely. Like I only had a little over a year under my belt. And honestly, like when you're starting out like that, especially with boot camp, or if you only have a cert or whatever, like definitely stay there for 2 to 3 years before like calling it quits so quickly. I've talked to so many people and I hear a lot about how a lot of jobs want 3+ years of experience. Maybe that's not 100% true. Obviously, it depends on the situation in a company. But I feel like now because the economy has like taken a turn, it is going to be tougher to find more junior roles. So when you do find something, definitely stick it out to get those years of experience a bit longer. It doesn't hurt to look while you have a job though. I'm not saying like stay there for a year and not look, but like it definitely helps to have it to be there a bit longer. At least that was my experience. So I left because I was like in love with the idea of working remotely, which is kind of hilarious now because I'm working remotely now and I've learned that I don't like working remotely. But I had some other opportunities where I could make videos for this other company. and I also was like building an online business. So my goals were like a bit skewed. Like there were a lot of things I wanted to do and I wasn't sure what the best route was for me. So I was just trying all different things. So that's why in retrospect, I wish I had not left. I wish I tried to just make those other things a side hustle versus bouncing so quickly. But in the end, I figured out that UX is like the best route for me. But yeah, that's why I left a bit early because I had some other job opportunities. But once I was ready to return to UX, it was a little bit trickier. It was not as hard as it was getting the first UX job. It was just I heard that a lot, like what Pinterest said. I heard that a lot, like, oh, apply again in a couple more years. I heard that. So that's why I'm sharing that advice to you guys. Let's see. Intune says it's in New York City. I'm here in Brooklyn. Oh my gosh, I love Brooklyn. I hope you guys are doing well there. The last thing I heard about New York City is that the curve is flattening. So that makes me really happy for you guys out there. Intune says, how come? Okay, I just answered that. Sorry, I read your questions out of order. Grenhard says, I'm looking to finally start my coding journey. I recently lost my job with this pandemic, just looking to get any info I can. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Well, I have a friend on YouTube. His name is Dylan Israel. And he has a killer YouTube channel. He's actually a self-taught developer. I actually have a video where we did like a collaboration together and he talked about his experience using Free Code Camp to build up his skills. He's now a senior developer and he's just a wealth of knowledge. He's even created some courses on, is it Udemy or Skillshare? I can't remember. But yeah, Dylan Israel has a fantastic channel, formerly known as Coding 360 Tutorials or Coding Tutorials 360. He has a lot of stuff about, I'll type his name down here. Actually, I'll pull up his channel and I'll drop the link. But yeah, he has a lot of good info for job hunting and what junior dev should and shouldn't do, and even about like Free Code Camp. Sorry, I can't do two things at the same time apparently. Okay, I just posted the link to Dylan's channel. Hey, Philip, what's up? Glad you could join us. Feel free to ask any questions. Today we're talking about job hunting, specifically UX, but I know we have some coders in here due to my background. Like, hey, coding boot camps, awesome. So feel free to ask questions. If I do not know how to answer them, I will direct them to someone else who does know. Like I just posted Dylan Israel's YouTube channel link. So he has a lot of good stuff. He's a really, really good friend of mine, really smart, knows his stuff. So that's for my coding friends. Yeah, and if you don't mind, if you watch one of his videos, please comment that Kristen Leak sent you here. Give me some extra brownie points. Any other question, or does anyone want to share like where they're at right now? I know a ton of people are getting laid off, and it's not like this. Definitely is not the norm ever. I talked to my parents about it because I remember when I got out of college, we were going through something. Well, I was going to say something similar, which is not true. But yeah, the economy was hurting, and I asked him if this is similar, like the way, um, yeah, the way everything's like turning, like going the crap right now. And my parents were like, "No, we've never seen the economy hit this bad ever." I shouldn't laugh. I'm just such a smiley person, but it just blows my mind. Like, ugh. So yeah, that's why I'm here. I wanted to share some tips, tricks, hear anyone's like story if you're willing to share so we can like brainstorm and just help you out. I can direct you to some resources or people. Um, yeah, so that's why I'm here, guys. Looks like there's 9 people in the chat, which is cool. Let's see. Intune says, how would you go about building a portfolio without formal education bootcamp? So there's a number of ways you can do this. So like, are you, Intune, you are a coder, right? So going back to Dylan, so Dylan taught himself how to code using Free Code Camp. And on Free Code Camp, which I've never used, but just based off what Dylan's told me, you are creating projects as you learn. Excuse me. So using those projects that you're building, you can use in your portfolio. You can also do things like if you're using an application and you don't, shoot, I'm thinking UX now, but I will just go ahead and say it in case there is someone who's trying to build a UX portfolio. Like let's say I'm using the Wells Fargo app and they do something that's not user friendly. Like let's say the architecture is crap and I can't find what I'm looking for and they put it under another name. And so I could easily just use screenshots of that and then also do a design of how I think the app would better serve its users and put that in my portfolio. So you would have to like state the problem, the challenges, and just pretty much tell the story of why this change needs to be done and how it is improved. And you can even go into testing it. I don't know if devs really need to get that far into it, but like, yeah, you can test it with the prototype and have a few friends or like do surveys. Another way is to do freelancing, especially now. I'm sure tons of businesses would love help from freelancers right now. So you can use that for your portfolio. That's what I did when I got my first gig outside. Yeah, outside the freelancing I did. I used I used 2 of my client websites that I built and share that during my interview. I hope that helps. But overall, I feel like if you are going to use something like Free Code Camp or Udemy, Coursera, like they are going to have projects either at the end or throughout the program, and you can use that. I really do think a big part of the portfolio aspect of job hunting is being able to talk about your designs or whatever you built. Again, I can't speak for coding, but for UX, like a big part is talking about the design, talking about the problem and your solutions and why. It's a lot of storytelling and be able to support that. And going back to the whole like articulating your design decisions, like that's really important for your interviews. Crystal says, I want to learn CSS, HTML, JavaScript, Python, PHP, and SQL. Are these correct languages to learn? I can't really say, to be honest. I recommend going to Dylan Israel's channel. He's one of my friends. I have the link up here a little further in the chat. I do feel like he will tell you that Um, Actually, you know what? I'm not even gonna guess. I'm gonna be completely honest, guys. Like, I can't say. I haven't touched code in like 2 years or 3 years. It's been a really long time, so I don't want to give any advice. Um, I have an idea, but I think it's best for a developer to actually speak to you. I will say one of the things I learned coming out of coding boot camp, and I know for certain, is that you can't learn like every single language at the same time. You need to build up a foundation. You need to figure out what type of developer you want to be. Do you want to be an iOS developer? Do you want to be a front end developer? Do you want to be back end? Like, what do you want to do? It's okay. I just hear and meet so many junior folks who want to be a full stack developer. And that's cool if that's like your end goal, like in 5, 10 years, be like a solid full stack developer. But like if you're a junior, you're just putting a lot of pressure on yourself. So I recommend speaking to someone who's a developer and who can guide you. It's my jug of water. I love this thing. If I don't drink out of this jug, I barely drink water. And it's because it has little timestamps on it. And I'm probably gonna talk about this in every live video. I just feel kind of strange for having this huge jug. But yeah, I'm a little bit behind because this is the 5 p.m. This is the 7. But I think I'm gonna get there today. So Crystal's asking, in UX, you don't have to know different codes. No, you don't. So UX is about improving the user's experience when they're using an application or tool. You can even get into the customer experience. And so oftentimes that deals with a lot of design, the psychology, research, like prototyping, like understanding your user. So yeah, user experience is all about understanding your users' needs, developing empathy for your users to create the best product for them that also is in alignment with the business needs. And I love UX because it's just every product needs UX. And it's because like if your user does not love the product, if they can't open an app and do what they want to do, then they're going to hate it. There's going to be no loyalty. But if you do have that user loyalty, if they love the product and what you do, if it's easy, if it makes their work more efficient, like they're going to have that loyalty. And user loyalty puts money into companies' pockets. And so that's why finally people are understanding the value of user experience, because if you understand the users before building the application, like if you do the research, whether it's surveying, creating personas to like understand their needs and like their responsibilities within their job or life, depending on what type of persona you're building. Yeah, if you do that all in advance, you're gonna save a ton of money instead of just guessing by saying, I think this app needs to be made. Well, does it really? Like, it's a cool idea, but do people actually need it? Is that what they need? Or adding some types of functionality to an app or website, like, do they really need to use it? Or do they even know how to use it? Or is this the right type of, what do you call it, device? Is this the right device for them? So like whether you have this like for iPads or cell phones, maybe they don't need it for cell phones. Maybe there's a lot of text or tables or it's like information overload, which would not do well on a small screen like a cell phone. So just prioritizing the user's experience save companies lots of money and also brings in lots of money. And yeah, it doesn't involve coding. I kind of think of it as this way, like if you ever get confused, because yeah, there's like front end development, and yes, there is some overlap because in UX we also do like interaction design. We do those UI, but coding is like, oh, I had like a really good metaphor. Okay, I got it. So coding or development is like when you're building a house, right? You need to have the foundation. You need to have the pavement, the bricks. Um, you need the like electrical, the plumbing. You need all those things to make your house a house, right? And so once you're finished with all that construction, like that's like the software development and engineering, because you need all those things even to have a house. You need that foundation. You need something, you need a shelter. And so once you start painting, like you go in and you want to paint the walls, you lay down the carpet, you decide to put carpet upstairs instead of downstairs, maybe just put carpet in the living room, put tiles in the kitchen, and then you decide like I need to have the decide like where you're going to put the TV and the couch, and it's like, oh no, well the couch is better on this side, the TV this, but I need a larger TV. Like you start thinking about those types of things to help make it easier to live in your home, to make it more enjoyable. Like that's more of the user experience. It's almost like the interior design is how I like to think of it. It's not just there because it's pretty. I guess I shouldn't say interior design, because it's not like, oh, it's pretty. This button looks good right here, so it should be placed here in this application. No, that's not UX. It's the actual, okay, this button is placed at the bottom because we want the user to read through this information and then take action. The button is the call of action, but we need the user to read this information before to decide if that's what they want to do. So kind of like that. So that's why coding is not user experience. It's completely separate. But I have met unicorns who code and do UX. And let me tell you, they are not newbies. They've been in the field a really long time. So yes, that's a great goal if you want to have the goal of like being a developer with a UX background. I've met those people, but it's not an overnight thing. But it's a fantastic goal to have because we need more developers and engineers who are mindful of UX. Okay, guys, I see some questions coming in. I'm going to answer some questions, but I am going to fix the lighting because it's starting to get dark in here, at least from my end. So give me like 2 seconds. No. Okay, I think my light's about to die. So I'll just have to put in new batteries. Hopefully it doesn't look too dark. Okay, now for the questions. Grindhard says, so can you explain the type of developers? What do you mean by front end and back end? Sorry, but I don't know. Yeah, no problem. So let's see. So let's go back to that metaphor I had. So the developers developing is like building the house, building the foundation. Um, so backend developers, like their work are things that aren't not seen, right? So they get things functioning. It could be like SQL, like database related things, even like going into DevOps things. Um, that's like that's like the electricity and plumbing in the house. You know, like we don't see all the wires and things. Like that's all hidden, but the house can't. It's not livable without those things. You know, like um, like they backend developers create the code that allows you to save information and pull it up. You know what I mean? Like what's a good app like that? You type something in and it saves that. I don't know why I'm spacing on that. But yeah, just functionality like that that you can't see. Whereas front end development, which often gets confused with UX and UI design, is like you're building how the application looks. So going, I'll just grab my phone. Which app should I use? Let's do Instagram. Is Instagram a good one? Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so on Instagram, like things like at the top you see like the live and the little ring pops around it. Um, that's like all front end stuff, like being able to code that. Being able to code the logic for when this pops up, I believe is back end, and then front end, you're designing like what it looks like. You're adding the color, what do you see? And someone correct me if I'm wrong, but that's my understanding of front end is like the placement. So this is Haley from Paramore, right? And so the front end developers decided like this is where the video is going to be, like all the placement where everything is. And typically when you're working on a team, like if you're fortunate to have a UX team, the UX designers will send you wireframes of where you should put the videos. And then they communicate that to the front end developer, and then the front end developer will build that out. I really hope that made sense. I need to practice explaining that. Philip Beaver says, where can I get a beer that size? Crap, I don't know what you're talking about anymore. I missed a moment, but I do like a good beer. So let's see. Ronald says, what's the best rapid prototyping tool in your experience? Best rapid prototyping tool is probably just using pen and paper, but it's not my favorite. Just overall, my favorite tool is an InVision. I've used a number of other ones, but InVision is so simple and it's really fast. We use those for the Google design sprints where we only have like 24 hours to build a prototype. So yeah, that's really, I'd say InVision. Grindhard says, yes, you explain it like I'm a 2-year-old. Sorry, but I'm not smart. I really hope I did not make you feel like you're a 2-year-old. I hope that's a joke. But that's kind of how I learn though. I like when people dumb things down. So I don't like to assume. Philip says front end equals website, back end equals connection and database. Yes, well said. Yeah, like when I was talking about saving information, yes, that goes into a database. Yes. Although front end doesn't have to just be websites. You can also be a front end developer for applications as well. Okay, guys, I am gonna head off in, I'll give you guys 3 minutes. 3 more minutes for questions, and then I'm gonna head off. I always fly by when I do these. Like, I really thought it's gonna be on here for 30 minutes, which is totally cool. I enjoy these, but it always flies by. I love it. Let's see. Ronald says, do people still confuse you for a UI designer when you tell them you are an UX? Yeah. Yeah, I do. I do feel like UI designers need to have a background in UX regardless. I feel like it's becoming more common, but there are plenty of employers who don't understand the difference. Um, Also, I am a researcher, so it does get tricky as well. Like, I have so many people on LinkedIn emailing me about UX designer roles, and I'm like, hey, if you have any UX researcher roles, like, let me know, but I'm not a designer. I can design. I support my team with designs. I enjoy doing design, but I specialize in research. So I do both. I do both. But I want to make sure whatever I do includes research. That's a great question, by the way, and very relatable. Oh man, I'm sorry you missed the email. I also posted in the community section, but I will say, like, I plan on doing more live streams. They probably will be more like this, where I'm just like, I just pick a topic and we just talk about whatever in the topic. So just keep your eye open. I do plan on being more active. I recorded a new video today, actually, so you'll probably see me in the same clothes. But yeah, I recorded a video today. I want to do some B-roll for it to make it like really interesting. And so my channel is definitely gonna be more active. So hopefully you'll be seeing more of the live streams. Is there a topic you guys would like me to speak about? I was thinking about doing a video called 10 Things I Wish I Knew. Oh shoot, I wrote it down on my phone. I guess I'll just tease you guys. It's like similar to the 10 Things I Wish I Knew Before Coding Bootcamp. So, crap, good thing I wrote it down. So yeah, I'm gonna do something similar because that is still my most popular video, you guys. It's pretty insane. It's so old and I look so different and the quality is so horrible. It's almost embarrassing. But yeah, it helps people, so I guess it's fine. But anyways, I digress. If there's anything you want me to talk about, UX related or not, just let me know. You can, if you like can't think of it today, like just come back to the video and just leave a comment because I see all the comments, or at least most of them. Like the most recent videos, it's easy to find comments, so just do that. Ronald Grieve says basic UX principles in the everyday app. Oh, like that's your request for a video? Talk about basic UX principles. Huh. I could do a fun spin-off of that actually. Thank you. Yeah, I could do a fun spin-off of that. How are you guys doing with everything now? I know I'm wrapping things up, but I just want to hear like how you guys are doing. Like, are you working? Are you looking for work? Are you still like trying to change jobs right now to get into tech? And it's okay if you are. Like, we've all had to do it. I had to do it. Okay, it's getting a little quiet. So, okay, good. I'm glad you're doing well. Philip says, moved to Colorado, working, supporting Azure developers, but still looking to get back into coding. Okay, cool. I really want to visit Colorado when everything calms down. There's like so many places I've been putting off as far as traveling goes. They seem to have a really good tech scene there, at least in Denver. Maybe Colorado Springs. I can't remember. There was one place in Colorado I was surprised that had like some decent tech companies. Arnold says using times to sharpen up on skills. Yeah, this is a great time to do that. Well, everything is slowed down. Like, when else is the entire world, like, or at least country, like, slowing down? Okay, guys, well, it's been fun. I'm gonna hop off. Again, if you have any questions later on, feel free to like leave them in the comments below and look out for some more live streams. I most likely will have another one this week. Is it Monday? Is it Monday or Tuesday? I don't even know what day it is. Oh, it's Tuesday. See, like the days just blur together because it's like I'm always here. I'm always home. Nothing different to like break everything up. But yeah, be on the lookout for another live stream. This was cool. I'll talk to you guys later. Be safe. Be healthy. Bye, everyone.